Yo, what is going on, guys? J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with some more If My Heart Had Wings. It's been 2 weeks since we played this game! 2 weeks! But we're back, baby! Okay, so a few things before we get started. For one, I was busy, so I'm sorry I didn't get anything out, okay? I'm sorry. I've said it 100 times, I'm sorry. The second thing, guys, we just hit 150 subscribers! That is crazy! Like, for a little while, we were kind of stuck at like 145-ish or something like that. We are at 150 subscribers. We are 50 subscribers away from 200. That's fucking crazy. So thank you guys so much for that. I might make a video about that, or something along those lines, or I might just save it for the 200 mark. Awesome reception on the most recent House of Fata Morgana video, which I have a feeling we're now officially in the end game here, because I don't know what other kind of twist they could pull out of that game. Go watch the series, go watch the latest video on that. Without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump right back into this. Let me turn down my own volume because this game is always exceptionally loud. So I believe that last time we left off, there wasn't anything too special that happened, but I do know that now the club is in full swing. We are now kind of taking steps toward learning how to fly the aircraft. The wings are being worked on, and things are going pretty good right now. As we begun building the main wings, the Soaring Club garage suddenly became very lively. Everyone carrying out their tasks was finding an outlet for their increased motivation. This also influenced things outside the garage. For example, at lunchtime one day. Hey, what's the difference between glass melt and glass cloth? Glass mat, my bad. The cloth is thinner, but it has longer fibers, so it's more resistant against pulling. Oh, that's right! The mat easier fits I can't fucking speak, Jesus! The mat easier fits curved surfaces, so it's used when making things with complex shapes. So glass cloth is more suitable for making the main wings. They're big and flat and also have to be durable. That's right. It's been like this recently. Kotori and Ageha were having lunches together. Kotori was always reading an FRP manual, and if there was something she didn't understand, she was asking Ageha. In her spare time, Ageha was also studying thick technical books about glider construction she took from the garage bookshelf. She wouldn't read while eating lunch though. Spending more time with Ageha made Kotori much less detached from the class as a side effect. Looks like she gets more and more chances to talk to classmates. Just like right now, when other girls were answering her questions. Hey, Minase, stop looking at the girls. I wasn't. I made a few friends from class as well and started having lunch with them sometimes. I wonder what they're talking about. When it comes to building the main wings, I was just helping a little, so it didn't really have much to do with me. Still, I was simply curious. Or rather, I'd like to go to chat with them about the glider too. Really now, you're kinda awesome. Why? As soon as you transferred here, you started getting along with that Habane-san. You even got close to Mochizuki-senpai, haven't you? Just by chance. Kotori had a rather stormy relationship with the girls. However, the boys considered her distant and hard to approach. Her legs, beautiful appearance, but above all that "don't talk to me" aura must have been responsible for this. Just by chance, huh? If I didn't become the dorm mother, I also might have been referring to her as that Habane-san by now. I was able to fit in class so quickly only thanks to Ageha. But I gotta tell you this, we all envy you because of that too. What the hell? Childhood friends? Well, even if you say that. This is digression, but it seems that Ageha is rather popular with the boys. And thanks to that, some of them are a little jealous of me. If the situation was reversed, I think I'd have been similarly envious. Maybe I should join the Soaring Club too. That's too bad, we're already full. You liar, you're hogging all the girls to yourself, damn it. In one corner of the classroom, Ageha and company were enthusiastically talking about gliders and were getting excited with a typical high school boys conversation. Speaking of which, when I was at the all-boys school, those kinds of topics felt a lot more lonely. I'm glad I decided to transfer. That was an average day for me now. After school, we were all heading to the garage and engrossing ourselves in the work we had to do. Ageha is also in the robotics club, so she goes there on some days. She shows up at the sewing club afterwards. Then she checks what Kotori did that day and... that's no good. Or, well done. She criticizes her work like that. And at last, the other day... hey, we got the wings done, looks like it.
Gently? Peel it off gently? Yeah.
Nope.
Whoa. Alright, it came off. Look at this.
Kotori, having peeled the FRP plate from the model, happily showed it off. Alright.
We did it!
Wow. We all spontaneously struck a victory pose. The smooth, curved surface was sparkling beautifully under the dim light inside the garage. This 200 by 40 centimeter board was one of the pieces that would become the main wings. The main wings were 8 meters long. Since making them from one piece would be very risky, they were made from similar fragments that would be connected later.
Look at this, it's really smooth. You're right, this is very different from the ones I made.
But won't the connection point become weaker?
No problem. The place where they join is more layers, so it's actually even stronger. We have to polish and paint it, right? Once we're all finished and connected. There's still a long way before they're done.
The first piece was experimental to prove that the manufacturing process works. Now we'll be making a lot of similar boards. So smooth already. Does it really need to be polished?
There's release agent on the surface. If we don't clean it off, the paint won't adhere to it properly.
While Ageha was explaining, she checked the surface of the board thoroughly.
Yes, well done. Of course, I put a lot of effort into this. It really is well made. That's great.
As we stood before the first result of our efforts and chatted amongst ourselves, we were all quite excited. Although our pace was slow, the construction was proceeding well. Sunday. Our end-of-term test will begin tomorrow, so all club activities have been stopped for the time being. If we secretly worked on the glider and got busted, we'd have been in trouble. We had to stick to the rules. That's why we were meeting at the garage on Sunday. The cicadas were annoyingly noisy. That's to be expected. It was midsummer already. Once the end-of-term exams are over, our long-awaited summer vacation will begin.
Hey, Aokun!
Amane-senpai? On my way to school, I heard Amane-senpai calling out from behind.
That's unusual. Are you alone?
I had some work at the dorm. The others couldn't wait, so they went ahead. Ageha came to the dormitory early this morning. Then she and Kotori left together. Those two really have been getting along well recently. I guess they finally opened up to each other.
Now that you mention it, when it's just the two of them, they tend to have lively conversations.
Huh? About what? They were probably discussing glider-related things.
They mostly talk about you.
Really? I wonder what they're gossiping about. I guess it must be some good-for-nothing chit-chat.
Wanna know?
Nah. Just knowing that those two are getting along is enough. Besides... Hey brother, where you looking, man?
What is it?
Nothing. I just thought that it's the first time I've seen you wearing something different than a school uniform.
Ah, this? Yesterday I returned home for the first time in ages. I went to help my dad with his job.
You were helping your father? What kind of job does he do?
He's an inventor.
An inventor? For a moment I imagined a middle-aged man wearing thick glasses and a white coat. He raised a strange voice while pouring chemicals into a test tube. A huge explosion followed. That would have been the case in Edison's era anyway. Now it's become a proper profession. Wait a sec. She said she's been home for the first time in ages. So does that mean she usually lives alone? I couldn't help but wonder. But there might be some family issues, so it was difficult to ask.
It's not just for Kotori and Ageha. I've been having fun these days too.
What do you mean?
The club activities. Everyone's been great. Ageha has a knack for building things. She's quick-witted and has a wide range of knowledge. Kotori's patient and keen, and I think she wants to fly more than anyone. Aokun, you're doing a good job bringing those two together, and you're already better than me with flying in the simulator.
If they heard you talking about him like this, I'm sure they'd have been overjoyed.
You think so?
Yeah, I guarantee it. The reason why everyone could do their best without hesitation was because such an amazing person as Mochizuki Amane was there. Senpai brushed up her long hair. A nostalgic smile appeared on her face, as if she was reminiscing about something.
Ever since you guys came here, it's always so lively. It's like I went back in time to when Isaka's been here.
Again, Isaka-san. The person who wrote the flight log. What sort of person was she? And why did Amane-senpai always talk about her in the past tense?
I want to do another test flight soon.
Amane-senpai said that anxiously while gazing up at the huge columns of clouds silently soaring through the distant sky. Hi.
Hi! Hi.
Huh? You're alone? Oh shit, that's me. Huh? You're alone, Kotori? When I entered the garage with Amane-senpai, Kotori was sitting alone looking bored in front of the air conditioning.
If you're looking for Himeki-san, one of the members of the robotics club called her and she went out.
To the robotics club? Recently, a Geha had been coming to the soaring club more often than to the robotics club. Could that be the reason why they summoned her?
The girl who came to her had a really serious expression,
said Kotori sluggishly. She looked like she didn't even want to think about it. Just then, a Geha returned.
I'm back!
Yo, Geha, you got called by the robotics club?
Yeah.
Is something wrong?
There's a little problem, but I really should be happy about it. But considering my senpai's feelings, maybe I shouldn't.
What happened?
For a little while, I'll have to devote myself to the robotics club.
Huh?
What do you mean? Senpai, just for a short time, can I be allowed to take a break from the club?
That's fine, but... You said a little while, but how long is that?
Until the start of the summer holidays at the earliest. At the latest, up until the Oban Festival.
That's about halfway through our summer holidays.
It's the qualifying round for the robotics contest, isn't it?
A Geha nodded.
We, the underclassmen team, were supposed to be just the preserve team, so we didn't expect to participate, but it seems there's a problem with the senpai's team robot. Since they won't make it in time now, it's been hurriedly decided that we're going to enter instead.
The robotics club was really popular. It had many teams and they were divided into several... It had many members and they were divided into several teams, each trying to build a robot that will meet the requirements for this year's contest. According to a Geha, while underclassmen were helping the seniors with their work, they also practiced making their own robots. However, that was only practice. Helping the seniors was the priority. It seems that usually they don't have enough time to finish their own robots, but this year, a Geha got really fired up and said they'll somehow manage to build an operational one. When the problem occurred with the senpai's team robot, they were no longer able to enter the contest. It was decided that a Geha's team would participate instead.
So what about making the wings? I won't have time to work on them personally, but I'll be showing up once I'm done with the robotics club. So can I ask you to do the work on them, Habane-san? Impossible, if I'm all by myself.
I'll help too. If the main wings aren't completed, piloting practice will be meaningless.
Yes, please. I'm really sorry. Well then, I have to head back now.
A Geha made her apologies and left the garage. The garage interior became deathly silent.
What's with this girl? She always just says whatever she likes.
It can't be helped. She was a member of the robotics club from the start.
But things are finally going so well.
Senpai, while a Geha's away, I'll be helping with Kotori.
Yeah.
Senpai?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's do so.
Amane-senpai said absent-mindedly. She then returned to her usual position, sitting in front of the drawing board. Afterwards, she didn't say a word anymore. Oh. Uh-oh. Trouble! Like I said, things were going pretty well. But, you know, in these kinds of stories, when things are going well, that's always a bad thing. So a Geha has gone ahead and... Well, she's going to be just stepping away for a little while. For some reason, Amane has a problem with that. Which I'm going to guess has something to do with Isaka. And the old club. On the first day of the first term exams, the fine weather we'd had for the last few days changed into an unbelievably heavy rain. This would be my first exam since I'd come to this school. I didn't hate studying, so I felt quite confident. However, specialist subjects were rather troublesome because I didn't even know what kind of questions I should expect.
Okay, time's up. Put down your pencils.
The answer sheets were collected. That's the end of today's exams.
Go straight home. Don't play about. You have exams tomorrow, too.
That's what the teacher said, but I'd brought my lunchbox.
How did you do it, Geha? So, I guess. That was no good. I'm betting it all on tomorrow's English exam. I'm no good at English.
While Ageha was chatting with our classmates as usual, she put her bag on her shoulder and left the classroom with them. Ageha. I followed her out to the hallway and called out. Going home already?
Yeah, there's something you need to do. How about you?
I'm gonna swing by the garage.
I see.
Ageha, you know...
Ageha, what are you doing? Sorry, you go ahead. What is it, Aoi?
No, nothing. See ya.
Okay, do your best on tomorrow's test too.
She said this jokingly and chased after her friends while waving her colorful orange umbrella. Aren't you going with her? Whoa! It's just you, Mabo. It doesn't matter whether we return together or not.
Yes, it does matter. Weren't you guys sticking together all the time lately? You are getting clingy to the point where it makes me feel sick.
We're not getting clingy.
You are! Yes, you are! You said it yourself about that something club or whatever.
What are you sulking about? You haven't joined us.
Huh? Who'd want to hang out with you guys?
Don't spit in the hallway. Anyway, I guess it was weird. After all, you confessed to Ageha in the past and got rejected, right?
Oh shit. Lore drop.
I stiffened reflexively. How do you know about that? I heard it from Ageha. Why, that little...
Despite that, you're hanging out again. That's definitely unnatural. I'm saying this is someone experienced with romance.
You know, I think you're misunderstanding something. That was back when we were kids and...
Huh? Kotori, how long have you been there? I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
After throwing this terribly easy to see through denial, she escaped down the hallway at top speed in her wheelchair.
Mabo, you asshole. See ya. Hey, hold it.
Masatsugu skipped away as I tried to retaliate.
Oh god.
Hey, Kotori.
I didn't hear anything. Even if you ask me what I didn't hear, I won't answer.
Is that so? Going against what our teacher had said, Kotori and I dropped by the Soren Club garage. Because it had been raining all day, the humidity in the garage was stifling. While we sat down in front of the air conditioner and ate lunch, we opened out the textbooks for the subjects for tomorrow's exams. Damn that Mabo. The matter that Masatsugu had let slip just now was really something that had happened when we were kids. I think that Ageha had probably forgotten all about it. Even if she did remember, it could be slightly embarrassing, but these kinds of memories wouldn't make us feel uncomfortable or anything. It was when we still didn't really understand the difference between boys and girls. You could call that youthful silliness. That's why I don't think it had any special meaning. Senpai, how's the exam?
I didn't take it.
Huh? That's right. She was deliberately dropping credits. If she took the test like everyone else, she's so smart that she'd be at the top of the class without even trying. And by the way, Senpai wasn't hungry today for a change, so it seems the lunchbox I brought for her will go to waste. I'll put it in the fridge so she can eat it later when she gets hungry.
Aoi-kun. It's about Himegi-san.
What? I thought you didn't hear anything. Kotori continued, ignoring my sarcasm.
You were right with her. You were talking with her in the hallway, right? Did she say something?
No, not really. She said she has something to do, so she's going home.
Don't you think Himegi-san's avoiding us? She's not coming here either.
Since Ageha said that she was going to focus on the robotics club, she hadn't come to the garage even once. Well, club activities are suspended during the exams. Isn't it weirder that we're actually coming here?
I wonder. Hey, it's that thing after all.
Yeah. Oh. It was actually bothering me a little, so I talked about it with someone I knew from the robotics club. I asked about the situation on the day Ageha was summoned. At that time, Ageha said it was decided that her team would enter the contest. However, considering the news, her expression was too gloomy. I wondered if they didn't tell her something more. Could it be that being in 2 clubs at the same time was putting her in a difficult position? That's what I was worried about, but from what I had heard, there were hardly any complaints from the other club members. They said that there weren't too many people in the robotics club who were as enthusiastic as her. Even so, the advisor of the robotics club was Tobioka Kujita-sensei. I'd heard rumors about him when we were looking for members for our club. Apparently he had a great grudge against Amane-senpai, and it was said that he saw the Soaring Club as enemies. The credibility of the rumor itself is uncertain. It seems that Ageha was summoned that day. Tobioka-sensei told her this. Holding positions in 2 clubs at once is not allowed. You must quit one of them.
She might not come here anymore.
Clatter. Staring at the drawing board, Amane-senpai dropped her pen.
I'm sorry.
Apologizing to no one in particular, she picked up the pen. Senpai had also been acting a little strangely since Ageha stopped coming. She's been fidgety and seemed restless. Okay, I'm gonna throw some theories out there real quick, just while we have everything, while we have a number of the puzzle pieces. So, it's supposedly said that Amane, by some simple mistake on her part, lost the robotics team, this big competition, and then she just quit the team. And so now he holds a grudge against her. I'm thinking that maybe, possibly, it could be either that because of that mistake, the robotics club teacher may have tried to do something to sabotage Isaka. This could have something to do with her. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Or it could be that Amane purposely sabotaged the robotics event to get back at the teacher for something he may or may not have done to Isaka. So that's kind of my theory right now. Maybe that's a little bit dramatic, but you could crank or decrank the scales of what the in-betweens and specifics of that scenario is. So, throwing it out there. Ageha said this would last until the local qualifiers for the robotics contest. It sucks that the production of the main wings has been slowed down, but let's wait until then.
But if she's thinking about quitting, I'd want her to tell us soon. We'll have to search for another member again.
While she listlessly poked at her omelet, Kotori voiced her complaints. What are you doing here? Suddenly, a man's deep voice resounded inside the garage. We looked at the entrance in surprise and saw a middle-aged man standing there. From the open door, humidity and the sound of the rain violently hitting the ground came inside the garage.
Yeah, that guy.
Speak of the devil. It was the robotics club advisor, Tobioka Kujita-sensei.
We're in the middle of the exams. Don't you know that club activities are forbidden?
We know. That's why we're not doing club activities.
What?
Hey, don't lunge at him. He's really irritating.
We're eating our lunch and studying for tomorrow's exams. Tobioka-sensei glared straight at me. He looked like he would never believe the words of a student, but I wasn't lying. I've just transferred here, so there are many things I don't know in the specialist subjects. Mochizuki-senpai was teaching me. Kotori also wasn't too great with these subjects, so we had a valid reason for studying for the exams right here. Of course, having air conditioning was another reason.
So you are the new members of the Soaring Club.
It seems he tentatively accepted my explanation and asked another question.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you'd better give up on such a club.
What the?
If you want to be involved in something, you should join the robotics club.
Why would you say something like that, Sensei? While I was trying to hold Kotori back, I unintentionally let some anger slip into my retort, though I really was that annoyed.
It's a teacher's duty to guide the students. I said the same thing to Himeki.
As I thought, he threatened Himeki-san. I won't forgive him. Wait, calm down.
Kotori looked like she would have charged her wheelchair into Tobioka if it wasn't for me holding her back. So what does she say?
That she'd think about it for a while. Well, provided that she isn't a complete idiot, there's only one answer. Even so, I'm keeping an eye on her. She's the best among the members of our club.
She won't quit. She's been working so hard on this after all.
That's exactly why. If you're gonna get seriously involved in something, it's better to choose something that has a future. Not such an aimless club like this.
Aimless, you say? We do have a name. We have a clear objective.
Yeah.
Tobioka scoffed at our retort. We weren't participating in competitions or making any publications. Perhaps to a teacher like him, it looked like we were just doing this for fun.
Besides, your efforts are useless already. The Soaring Club will have its status revoked.
Huh?
Isn't that right, Mochizuki?
Wasn't that the case only if I was the only member? As you can see, Aoi-kun and Kotori are here too.
A promise is a promise.
Tobioka forcefully interrupted Amane-senpai's calm explanation. Then,
I will have you keep it.
He emphasized that and left the garage squaring his shoulders.
What's that about, Amane-chan?
Is it true that the club will have its status revoked? Once Tobioka had left, we both drew closer to Amane-senpai.
Did Tobioka-sensei misunderstand the main point of the promise, I wonder? The club losing its status would be more like a side effect of keeping the promise.
What was this promise?
I'm leaving this summer.
Leaving? Ah, so that's why she was bent out of shape. Okay, I may or may not have jumped to conclusions, but we have an answer now. So that's why she was all moody about Himegi kind of having to put things off until midsummer. The middle of the summer break. Because she's leaving at the end of summer. Excuse me. We were dumbfounded, stunned to hear about this so suddenly.
But Amane-chan, weren't you going to keep staying here?
That's what I thought too. I thought she was going to stay here even after we leave.
I've already repeated the year more times than the school allows. It's because I received special permission from the school. But in exchange, I had to make some promises. One of them was that I would quit the club activities this summer, then graduate the following spring. Quit? Then graduate?
What about the revocation of this club status?
As I said, that wasn't part of the promise. That's Tobioka-sensei's misunderstanding. I've been doing this by myself for years. No new members were joining. That's why the school was planning to close the Soaring Club the same year that I leave.
Hearing about these things all of a sudden left me slightly confused. You're fine with this? With quitting?
It's not a question of whether I like it or not. The school won't allow it, and I also made a promise with my father.
The teachers? Her father? All these promises she's made with adults. I didn't know what all those people were thinking. But I did know that there were things that'll be lost because of them.
That's why, before then...
Amane-senpai picked up the photo frame that was placed on her desk. The once empty frame now displayed that beautiful photograph of the passage of clouds bathed in the morning sunlight.
Before then, I want to go to this place.
Senpai stared at the photograph as if she were looking at something far, far away.
Since everyone came here, I just started to think that, just maybe, this time I might be able to reach it.
Maybe. This time. Considering all those years Amane-senpai had spent in this garage, her words felt very heavy. Listening to her words beside me, Kotori was quietly biting her lip.
Aoi, what's the matter?
Is Geihai here?
Ei-chan? She went to the convenience store.
I see, thanks.
Why didn't you call her?
No, it's fine. I want to speak to her face to face.
Hee. I have to give myself a little reward for studying so hard. And by reward, I mean Haagen-Dazs cookies and cream. Here I go.
Oh, you have something delicious.
Oomph.
Ageha, defenselessly stuffing her wide-open mouth with ice cream, choked and spit it out.
Owie! Don't scare me like that.
Sorry, you should eat it at home.
It would melt, wouldn't it? Besides, eating it outside like this is a luxury. You want a spoonful, I?
Ooh, I'll have a little.
Okay, say ah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out her voice, man, okay? Leave me alone. Stop talking like that, it's embarrassing. That said, I took the spoonful that Ageha offered into my mouth. Oh, that's nice. What flavor is this?
Cookies and cream and Ageha's indirect kiss flavor.
There's some unnecessary stuff mixed in, but it's great anyway. I'll try buying it next time.
You can have acted at least a little embarrassed. This is all because we're childhood friends.
When we were kids, it was normal for us to drink the same juice while passing it around. Right now, getting shy about something like sharing an ice cream would have been more embarrassing. In other words, I was slightly embarrassed, but I played it cool.
So what are you doing here? You don't need to study for tomorrow's exam?
I heard from Hotaru that you'd be here.
You went all the way to my house?
Can we talk for a bit?
Sure, go ahead.
The rain that continued to pour since this morning had stopped in the evening, and the beautiful starry sky had spread above us. It was humid, but the breeze was refreshing. As we walked along the deserted lakeside promenade, I brought up the difficult subject. I heard from someone in the robotics club. Tobioka said something to you, didn't he?
Ah, this issue? It's nothing. School regulations don't prohibit being in two clubs at the same time. I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Even if you say that. It said that Tobioka had a pretty strong influence amongst the teachers. When that person keeps an eye on you, it's certainly troublesome.
Well, I misjudged things a little. Because Amani-senpai is in the soaring club, I thought it'd be fine to just sit back watching Millie help out a little.
So that's why you thought it'd be alright to be in both clubs? Ageha nodded.
I never thought she'd be that clumsy. Though I like that side of Amani-senpai. It's kinda cute.
Tobioka's the advisor of the robotics club, right? If you don't quit the soaring club, you'll have to leave the robotics club, won't you?
I guess that's how things might turn out. This is troublesome, even if he told me to choose one.
Ageha. Please, don't quit.
Which one?
The soaring club.
Figures.
Ageha looked troubled by me saying this so boldly. Holding onto the railing of the promenade, she leaned towards the lake. On the surface of the lake that was calm after the rain, countless reflected stars were flickering.
Hey, do you remember? Our secret base.
Yeah, I remember. When I lived here before, there was a quiet abandoned building. It was hard to spot, built inside an alley on the outskirts of the Kazami shopping district. We made it our secret base and we gathered there and played.
It sure was fun.
Yeah, we took all sorts of toys there and remodeled it into our own convenience. I think that most people must have made secret bases as kids, but we were proud of our base because it was much bigger, better, and generally cooler than the others. One day, some bullies from the neighborhood came to take over our secret base, and we fought together to repel them. This and various other things happened there. Speaking of which, what happened to that abandoned building?
When the Kazugara was built on top of it.
So that means it was swallowed up by the wave of development. So what about it?
It's very similar. The atmosphere in the Soaring Club's garage.
It is, now that you mention it. Standing at the back of the school grounds, it feels like it's been forgotten by everyone. Amane-senpai and successive generations of members redecorated it as they saw fit. Unknown things were jumbled and piled up all over the place. It looked very chaotic, and yet you could feel the presence of people who've been there.
That's why it's been so much fun lately. Too much fun, actually, to the point where I just completely lost myself in it. But I joined the robotics club because I enjoyed it, and I really am happy to enter the contest.
Yeah. I heard that Ageha has inspired the juniors who lacked motivation and helped the construction of their robot to proceed. She had a responsibility to them, too.
I also want to do what I can for the sake of the senpais who are no longer able to enter. I'm just that kind of a dedicated person.
So you're...
Yes, I'm planning to quit after the contest.
You fine with that? I asked her for this myself, so saying that might be a little strange. However, she looked like she still had a lingering attachment.
Oh, it's fine. I enjoyed building robotics, but gliders are fun too, so I can't help it now. Being able to make things alongside Amani-senpai is really motivating.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. You should be more impressed too.
The impact of our first meeting was so strong that we always considered her an amusing person instead of an amazing person. The truth is, there's one more thing. This was the main issue. It looks like Amani-senpai is going to quit this summer.
What the?
Today at lunchtime, Tobioka came to the garage. Then, I told Ageha everything that had happened in the garage at lunchtime, about our exchange with Tobioka-sensei and Amani-senpai's promise.
Amani-senpai is going to quit? But she's been in Super Repeat scene for ages. I thought she would continue to...
She said it was a promise with the teachers. Amani-senpai's planning to quit this summer.
That's...
If you don't come back soon, we probably won't make it in time. After the incident that day, Kotsuri and I checked the work schedule. Assuming that Ageha would come back as planned, we could just barely make it in time to do a test flight during the summer holiday. Not to mention flying to that passage of clouds. I'm sorry. I know what I'm saying is unreasonable, but I couldn't just keep quiet and tell you about it later.
Yeah.
I'm well aware that I'm urging her to make a difficult choice. However, telling her when it's too late would only make her feel worse. That's why it's still better to talk about it while there's still hope.
I see. Amani-senpai is going to quit.
Ageha muttered quietly while deep in thought, tapping her chin with a finger. She lorded one lap around the place. She remembered her Haagen-Dazs and ate it.
It's melted.
Ageha put the emptied ice cream cup on top of the railing, leaned on and looked down.
Now it's your turn, Aoi.
Mine?
To talk about yourself a bit.
Well, fine. What is it? I was slightly perplexed by this unexpected turn of events. Ageha fixedly looked straight at me, almost to the point of glaring.
Aoi, why did she quit cycling?
Huh? I couldn't immediately think of any model answers to such an abrupt question. That's because there's no cycling club here.
Even if there's no club, you could still continue your hobby, couldn't you? And yet, you don't ride at all.
I was at a loss for words. Ageha looked at me as if she saw right through me.
Is it related to the accident you had during your last race?
How do you know?
I can check the results of the race on the net, you know. I heard about your race from Ansha and I really regretted that I couldn't go and see it myself. You were up on the podium, right? That's why I'm always checking the results of your races on the net.
That's what Masatsugu was talking about before. Ageha felt bad about it, that she couldn't see you at your best. You knew about that, didn't you? At that time I thought it was strange, that Ageha hadn't asked me anything about my cycling. If she regretted that she couldn't come and watch, I thought she would ask me why I didn't carry on just like she did now.
It was written that there was an accident and that you were tired from the race. So why did you quit cycling? Tell me, why?
Ageha, still looking up at me, stepped over a puddle and drew closer without hesitation. I was injured. My knee. And that's why I couldn't carry on.
Just as I thought.
It wasn't just cycling. She hardly had to ask whether or not that was also the reason why I changed schools. She knew that I didn't want to talk about it, so she didn't ask me.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because it's lame, that I got hurt and came running back home.
It isn't lame.
Oh, it is. It's nothing but whining. I didn't want to show you guys that pathetic side of me.
Oh, you're cool.
What the? Are you making fun of me?
Yep.
Why you? She doesn't know what I felt when I quit cycling. Returned home and...
But you showed Habani-san, right? That lame side of yours.
Why do you know something like this?
I half guessed. But you did tell her after all.
Well, that's... I was flustered and Ageha gave me a sidelong glare. Certainly, even though I thought it was strange that back then that I talked with Kotori about such things that I hadn't told Ageha and the others. Oddly enough, that conversation took place right where we are now. I probably told her because she had suffered a much worse injury than me, lost so much, and felt such great despair. And then, she couldn't bear the weight of this burden and started to break. I wanted to get closer to her, even just a little, so I revealed my weakest side. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background there. I'm really sorry. Pa! I bowed my head with all my might.
I can't hear you. Former sportsman Manasi Aokun.
I had my reasons. Really, please believe me. She said she wanted to drop out of school, and I couldn't think of a good way to persuade her to stay.
So to make Abani-san change your mind, you opened up and told her what you didn't even tell your best friend?
Yes, that's right.
Hey, Ali,
Yes? What is it?
are you going out with Abani-san?
Huh?
You're always together, so that's how it looks. If you're dating in secret, that would make me feel awkward. I don't like being a third wheel, so I might even quit the soaring club.
No, that's definitely not it.
Then do you like her?
What are you talking about?
Your voice is breaking. Suspicious.
If I didn't like her, I wouldn't spend so much time with her. What, girls and boys can't be friends? I answered back in a childishly defiant way. But I really didn't see her that way. If that's what you're saying, then you and I are like that too. Actually, there are some people who do mistakenly think that we're dating.
So you and Abani-san are just friends?
Yeah, just friends.
She's your closest friend now, right?
I can't deny that.
So me being your best friend is already in the past, huh?
When it comes to friends, there's no number one.
You don't get it. The fact that you are my number one friend is very special to me. That's how it's always been since we were kids. Being number one is not a big deal, you know.
Oh wait,
Being number one and that's not a big deal, you know. If I were your very best friend, you definitely would have told me about your injury.
oh you can't say something like that without even getting a little embarrassed.
I don't want to hear this from a guy who isn't even a bit embarrassed about an indirect kiss. Could it be that you don't think of me as a girl?
Well, it's not that I wasn't flustered. I was just embarrassed to show it, that's all. Could it be that a gay was the same?
I'd rather you two were dating. Then I would have been your number one friend again.
Call it however you like. More importantly, let's talk about the club. I forced the completely sidetracked conversation back to the topic at hand.
Okay.
Everyone's worried that you're just gonna quit if things carry on like this.
Bonnie-san's angry about it, isn't she? That I've suddenly become like this.
Well, a little. But she told Tobioka that there was no way you'd quit in a very caustic voice.
No way, really? I wish I heard it myself.
Amane-senpai's also been acting weird. She's lost all her vigor since she stopped coming.
Even Amani-senpai?
That's why, even if it's impossible right now, you definitely have to come back eventually.
Yeah, thanks.
Ageha replied bashfully. I think we're gonna go ahead and stop it right there. I think it's a pretty good stopping point. Gonna go ahead and save it up. Oh, I gotta go to that was a quick save that I was doing. There we go. Alright, title. Yes. Okay. So, a couple of interesting things. So, obviously this Tobioka guy, well, for one, there's this promise that she's made with the school and with her father. We still don't really know the details about that. We know that at least with the school, it went as far as, like, hey, let me stay here, work on the, work on this plane, and let me repeat more years, and then, once we get to this, and then eventually I'll quit on this summer, or after this summer. So we know that it at least extends as far as that, but again, we don't really know, like, the extent of it, really. So we don't really know the extent of it. We don't really know why Tobioka has such a grudge against his club. We still don't know who Isaka is. And we also don't know what the promise is with her father that she made. So, and really just in general, we don't really know her whole situation. like why she's so motivated about the plane, why, you know, what her family relationship is like, what her past is like, why she specifically was given special permission to repeat all these years and all this stuff. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be some questions that are going to be answered in the next episode. So before we go ahead and end it off, I do just want to let you guys know that I will probably very soon here be starting a couple of new series. I have, like, I think 2 new games coming out, so look forward to those. One of them, I will go ahead and say it, is called Atri, A-T-R-I. And that one, actually, I believe it either recently had an anime adaptation or is getting an anime adaptation. So that's a pretty big one, so you guys will probably have heard of that. But anyways, that's going to be it for me for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or any of the videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when a new one of the videos comes out. Anyways, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!